Attention, everyone! Rape. Where is that coming from?
During my time at the house, I was surrounded by a ton of book talk girls who were completely unhinged. And anyways, for some reason, I came up with this theory with regards to male and female fantasy. For female fantasies, I noticed that it was all about the Disney princess fantasy. That, you know what, someday my prince will come. Very archetypal, dating back to the original Snow White and Cinderella. They do absolutely nothing. They are under the guise of their evil stepmother or an evil witch, and for some reason, a prince will suddenly arrive to rescue them and take them away from all of this. And as they grew older, it was now the time of the Twilight fantasy. Twilight meaning they're no longer princesses, but they're now average people. Check this out, right? If you've read Twilight, which I have, by the way, because here's the thing, at the house we did literature, and I'm all about literature. The first half, or the first at least 10 to 20 pages of the book, she describes her looks. That's all she does. She describes her looks, her abilities, or her physical attributes, which she has none. That she was an average-looking person. Yet the fantasy is that there is this extraordinary being that for some reason falls in love with her. That there's this extraordinary being that for some reason is suddenly interested in her. Not because of her looks, not because of her personality, but because of the smell of her blood. And then as they grew a little bit older, there came the 50 Shades fantasy. Again, same extraordinary Prince Charming who will swoop down and take her away from this place. But this time, it comes with an X-rated tag. That's it. And for most women, from what I've seen, for most women, that is the fantasy that Prince Charming will suddenly come in other forms and take them away from all of this. There may either be a princess or they may either be a regular person. Remember, in Twilight and in 50 Shades of Grey, they were both regular persons. But the latter is that she's just good looking, that she's a babe. I've read the books, alright? That's how the female fantasy goes for women. But as for men, the porn fantasy. That someday, this man will meet this supermodel with an insatiable appetite for, well, porn stuff. And that's it. It stops at that. No personality required. Nothing else. Two categories just need to be filled. Number one, she just needs to be good looking, and number two, she has the propensity to do porn stuff. That's it. That's it for men. So I guess we're now. Oh, by the way, these are just theories that I made up in my head. All right, based on observation, based on anecdotal evidence, but beyond that, there's no study going towards the whole thing. So I guess for now we're here to see Shoe talk about the average male fantasy. So let's see what this is all about.
Men.
Yes.
What do they want? Money,
a lot of things.
Status, fast, expensive cars. What is the ultimate male fantasy? Is it fame, fortune, 3 hot chicks at once? Hell yeah.
The 3 hot chicks, or at least the 2 hot chicks at once? I promise you, boys, someone gets left behind, okay? It's not all it's cracked up to be. Because I remember a lot of guys have this harem fantasy, or this fantasy that they're the only man in a classroom or that they're the only man in a room. But I had this bad experience of being the only man in the office floor. It wasn't good, alright? As in, the moment the elevator door opens, you can smell fish. You can smell the estrogen overflowing. It wasn't good.
Yeah, brother. No, according to men on the internet, it's something a little more simple.
Aww. Definitely romantic, though. Yeah, it's definitely romantic.
This is literally just a fetish.
What the fuck?
I fucking hate men so much. Men are why we can't have nice things.
What? The fuck? The
As
hell?
I was working on an upcoming video, I made the terrible mistake of logging onto Twitter, where I saw this post. A montage from the anime Josie, the Tiger, and the Fish, a movie about a college student who is assigned to take care of a paraplegic girl, and spoiler, eventually they fall in love. Many men were yearn posting in the replies of this tweet and talking about how they wish to fall in love and would love a relationship like this, while many
I mean, there was this meme that, you know what, most men yearn for all of this corny romantic shit, holding hands and, you know what, going on long walks on the beach together. And you know what? I think that sounds alright. I think, you know, it sounds like a very pleasant way to spend your time.
others, mostly women, were absolutely f***ing disgusted at this. Why would a bunch of men be fantasizing about being with a woman in a wheelchair? Seems pretty creepy and predatory, right?
It seems like they missed the point. I mean, that's the whole thing. It seems like they missed. Again, just like the whole Democrat discussion. It seems like they missed the point again.
Also just unrealistic and problematic. Well, in this video, we are going to be talking about why so many men resonated to that clip and this movie, and why so many people are so confused as to why. We are also going to be reading some absolutely
No, not men, not people, just women in general, and some very special men.
unhinged tweets, as usual, to get to the bottom of why such a wholesome post turned into, once again, another battlefront for the ongoing, never-ending gender war.
Oh
Men
my
versus
god, I
women,
forgot we're
women
doing
versus
that.
Men, the male loneliness epidemic, the female loneliness epidemic, the dealing with dating apps. Do men prefer thin women or curvy women? Brunettes or blondes? Do women like dad bods or fit men? Do they like beards or clean-shaven?
Oh yeah. I'm so sorry, children. I forgot we were doing the whole gender war thing. I thought this was all going to be political. I was so ready because the next video we have after this is related to the Democrats.
Now, I am not an anime connoisseur. In fact, I basically know nothing about anime. I am probably the most tourist of all the tourists. Yeah, hi. I have a question. Was the upskirt shot necessary in order to advance the plot?
Yes, it was.
I watched Pokemon and Sailor Moon when I was a kid, and a few years ago I watched Beastars on Netflix. Legoshi, best boy. Not a furry, by the way. And honestly, that's about it for my anime consumption. Unless you're counting VTubers. If you're counting VTubers, I watch a lot of anime.
Yep.
But because of this clip going viral, I watched Josie, the Tiger, and the Fish, and, well, I thought it was a good movie. I recommend watching it.
Has anyone here watched it? Is it any good? Because here's the thing, right? Obviously, I am not a psychologically and emotionally well-adjusted person. And alright, now, as much as I love anime, I generally avoid specific anime, mainly emotional ones like Grave of the Fireflies, Kimi no Name. Basically, anything that renders the heart asunder, for the simple reason that if something emotional goes out, or it's something, you know, I have no idea how I will react, alright? Something might come out of me because I have been repressing emotions for quite some time now that it's resulted in memory loss. So basically, I avoid alcohol or, you know, drugs or anything mind-altering plus emotional stuff for the simple reason that I don't know what will come out. And I am afraid of what will come out. So, question is, can someone please put it down? Can you guys please put it down in the comments if it's safe for me to watch it? If it's just romantic, because I can deal with romance, but I can't deal with the heavy stuff like the Grave of the Fireflies or somewhere along those lines. Please help. Thank you.
I thought it was a really cute, good story. I only cried a little bit.
Okay.
And I completely understood what the tweet meant by calling it the average male fantasy. So, what was wrong with it? Why did this clip go so viral in such a negative way? Why were thousands of people angry at this post?
I'll hazard a guess that a lot of women found out that they're not the fantasy. That they're not part of the fantasy, that they're not part of the desire. That there is no way that Mr. Grey, Prince Charming, or Edward Cullen is going to swoop down and take them away from all of this.
Well, let us dilly-dally no longer and read some of these angry replies to get a better understanding of what the issue is, shall we? Wholesome male fantasy, and it's fetishizing a disabled girl
Of
for him
course.
to control. Oh. Oh no.
Oh.
They think, oh god. Why?
Oh.
Always vulnerable, always.
It's like that dude who thinks that if you like VTubers, you're attracted to minors. He completely missed the point. Or B, he's projecting his fantasies. Always vulnerable, always happy, always needs you. Alright, so they're starting to find out that they're not part of the fantasy, that the fantasy doesn't involve strong, independent women.
Always happy, always needs you. Pretty perverted. Where are these fanfics?
Of course, anyone that doesn't like that is pretty perverted. Anyone that doesn't like a strong, independent woman is a perverted. Okay, so alright, I guess the best defense is offense.
Coming from? There were like hundreds of tweets just like this. Why did they see a cute montage of a happy couple, a man and a woman happy, together? I know, unheard of. Why did they see that and then immediately come to these conclusions? Like, as someone who actually watched the movie, Josie is not always happy. And she's absolutely not portrayed as some, like, vulnerable, ooh-woo.
Question is, can I watch it? Can I watch it without, some unknown emotion coming out of me? Please help. I need some recommendations here. Is it safe for me to watch it? Alright? Because I have repressed my emotions for so long, I don't know what will come out if I watch, Grave of the Fireflies or something.
Sex doll waifu. She's boisterous, she kind of has a foul mouth, she's very sassy and headstrong, she like straight up calls him her servant, but she was also very depressed. She basically never left her house, she was basically a girl failure. As a former girl failure, I love to see representation in media.
Can someone please put it down in the comments, like, what's a girl failure? Help.
But they actually show her disability, like, not in a good way. Like, they don't romanticize it, they don't sugarcoat it. And I noticed, unlike a lot of movies, unlike a lot of romance movies, at least like the Hallmark kind, where it's like the stuffy male lead learning to live life from the quirky, cute female lead, he's already got his shit together. And she learns to live life from him. He encourages her to live her dreams. And in return, he learns to live life in a completely different way.
Oh my god, so we're doing an anime review. That's awesome. Love this girl.
I thought that was really cool and sweet. Also, the animation was really good. Is anime good? Have I been sleeping on anime this entire time? His fantasy is that she becomes permanently disabled and helplessly dependent on him, but can still make him a sandwich. Sounds about right.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Best defense isn't as offense. Sounds about right.
After watching the movie, these tweets are even more insane. But even putting the movie aside, just seeing that like cute montage out of context, where the fuck are they getting this? These are very clearly just two happy people. But because the caption was the average male fantasy, their mind immediately goes to the darkest, worst faith interpretation of this.
Probably projecting. That's the problem. People project their insecurities and anger, hatred.
The problem is these people can't see any humanity in men. They can't see any humanity in humanity in general. Average male fantasy equals girlfriend with no agency who's completely physically dependent on you and forced into blanket subservience and compliance. Sounds about right. You males are weird for fetishizing.
Alright, this one probably was way too much into the whole Handmaid's Tale.
Physically disabled women. Average male fantasy is having a physically disabled girl that they can abuse however they want. Got it. Not to be
abuse. Okay. We have to consider that some of them might have been victims of abuse. That they're dealing with trauma in the worst way possible. So we'd have to understand that possibility.
That guy. I'm gonna be that guy. The infantilization of the physically disabled here is a little, dare I say, ableist. The implication here that people in wheelchairs cannot find love, and if they do, the person who loves them literally just loves them because they can't run away. Weird. Weird. Average men can't even be nice.
That was a racial segler reference. So yeah, they're pointing it out that if you like disabled people, or if if you fall in love with a disabled person, you're probably a pervert who's into the whole thing simply because the person is disabled.
Nice to their healthy and normal girlfriend. What makes you think they'll be able to handle disabled person as their lover? Whoa. Normal? What do you mean by normal? These people are just so ableist, chat. Can you believe it? Chat? Chat?
Wait, we have
I
a
don't even
chat.
live stream. Who's chat? I'm disabled, blind. So I showed this to my boyfriend. He says, I love you because you're you, and you make my days happier. So what if I have to drive you places or help you with cooking and cleaning? I would have done that anyway.
Yeah?
Disability has nothing to do with it. I love you. Ma'am, I don't know how to tell you this, but, your boyfriend is a rapist. Sorry you had to find out this way. You show this as fantasy because it's not true for the majority of men who participate in abuse of disabled people.
Holy crap!
The fantasy is the woman appreciates his efforts to make her happy. Stop lying and abusing women and the disabled.
What?
Your meds, schizo.
What?
You don't even know that f***ing guy. What do you mean stop abusing women and the disabled? Bitch, who are you? Also, the majority of men participate in abuse of disabled people. Are you okay? The majority of men are not abusers. That is a very, very small minority of men. The majority of men are men that just wake up, take a shit, get out of bed, take a shower, go to work, come home, and wait for GTA 6 to come out. That is the majority of men. Men commit 95% of all rape, but okay. Barging into the romance section of Barnes & Noble like, attention everyone! Rape! Where is that coming from? So close, this is fetish content. Ah yes, the dirtiest, most taboo of all fetishes. A happy relationship. Honestly, in 2025, that might be true.
Alright, so we're basically going down Twitter. People who completely miss the point. Alright.
And kids, you sick fuck. But this is literally just a perverted fantasy, LMAO. What? You think it's a perverted fantasy because... How do I put this nicely? You are a pervert. Literally,
probably yes, thank you.
Of a male and female character having fun together, being in love together, and being like, rape! He's a rapist! This is a fetish! Are these people okay? Stop watching porn. Wait, this is a woman. Okay, stop reading Taken by the Werewolf Billionaire. Or whatever the fuck you read. I swear to God, some of the shit women read would make the most depraved internet gooner blush. Or so I've been told. This is literally just a fetish. Okay, listen, I'm not gonna pretend there's nobody out there who's like, she can't run away, she has no legs. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend there's nobody out there who has a crippled, disabled fetish, okay? I've been on the internet for 20 years. I've been on DeviantArt. I've seen shit you wouldn't believe. But the majority of people, probably most, if not all the people responding to this, do not have a cripple fetish, okay? In fact, her being in a wheelchair basically has nothing to do with it. Much like how females coom over, like, vampires or, like I said before, the billionaire werewolf fantasy. This is just the average male fantasy distilled down to its most extreme.
Wait, I just realized, so they just turned Christian Grey into a werewolf. Alright.
So what is the average male fantasy? The average male fantasy is the fantasy of both men and women alike. It is simply to love and to be loved. But more specifically, the male fantasy is to be a protector and a provider for those that they love. Put a pin in this because we are going
Apparently it's so hard to understand for a lot of people nowadays.
To come back to this in a big way, trust me. The average male fantasy is being a globally known terrorist. The average male
Wait, the global terrorist? Okay. The globally known terrorist. Okay, I might have had fantasized about being a globally known terrorist. Like, what was that? The Blacklist? What was the name of that character in the Blacklist? Hold on, let me get the name. Alright. The Blacklist. Raymond Reddington! Alright! So yeah, me personally, I may have fantasized being a globally known terrorist like Raymond Reddington. Now, I had that fantasy.
Fantasy is that a
I mean, I'm sorry. Remembered on the first season, the way he was introduced, he literally walked up to was it the FBI or the CIA headquarters? Like, he took off his coat, he took off his hat, and simply kneeled down at the center of the lobby. I'm like, oh my god, that was so badass.
woman who isn't fat? The average male fantasy is actually job security.
Yes.
You know what?
Money.
These guys may have a point here. Pedophile alert. Men want disabled child wives. Average male fantasy is a disabled child. More proof that men are pedos. That's a little girl. This is weird. So, first of all, she's literally older than the guy. The guy is 22 and she is 24. In anime years, he is practically hag maxing. And yes, she may be physically disabled.
Probably.
But aren't all men mentally disabled in their own special way?
Yes.
At least the ones in my audience.
Yes.
Freely admit this.
Yes.
Maybe she, the older woman, is taking advantage of this sensitive young man. Have you ever thought of that? She looks like an 11-year-old child. Where are her breasts? First of all, really weird way to say that. She looks like a child. Show me her titties. Also, I love how, like, when anime women...
Holy shit.
have huge boobs. It's disgusting, Coomer brain or whatever. But if the anime woman has small boobs, she is a child and you're a chimo. Can't fucking win. Also, if she had big boobs, they'd absolutely be like, wow, look at this sexualization of the disabled. Also, you know, like, adult women can be flat-chested, right? Like, that actually exists in real life. Like, adult human women can have small boobs. We love all titties here on the Shoe0nHead channel. All titties is good titties.
It's like being in the desert. It's flat, but it's still hot.
End of story. Women fantasy. A boyfriend with depth and a loving, soft, deeply caring side of them. Men's fantasy. 12-year-old anime girl who looks and speaks like a toddler. Also notice how she's literally the shape and size of a child. Yuck. Have you people ever seen a child? No. You're all childless. Silly me.
Probably. I love this girl. Probably. Because no one's going to put up with that.
She's not even that short. She's just sitting. See, like when they're laying side by side, she's like a full-grown adult woman. Why do these people look at this and immediately think of child rape? Go to therapy.
Yeah.
And listen, I know with anime it can get a little weird, right? Like, excuse me, Poo Poo Pee Pee Chan is 2,000 years old and this is Poo Poo Pee Pee Chan. But this does not even look like a child. This looks like a cute woman. This is like a random rant, but I feel like there are no more cute women nowadays. You know what I mean? You have all like the
I think everyone's trying to be a strong, independent woman. They're all trying to be OF models at this point.
baddies, the e-thots, the e-girls, the muscle mommies, the boss babes, the boy babes. But I feel like every woman is just hot now. Which, by the way, I don't think is healthy for the male psyche whatsoever. You shouldn't wake up and be able to scroll through pictures of, like, the hottest woman you've ever seen in your life, like, 20 times before you've had, like, your morning cup of coffee. You shouldn't log in and immediately be one-shotted by 10 tens all day, as if that wouldn't make you go insane, as if that wouldn't make you crash out. Like, back in the day, you'd probably see, like, one fine dame on your bus ride to work, and you think about her for 40 years until the day you die. That's how it used to be. That's how it should be. Now every woman is like a crazy, hot, unobtainable Instagram goddess with the fattest of ass. Zoomers don't know how good we had it. You'd go to Blockbuster, and the 21-year-old cashier behind the counter would be the most adorable woman you've ever seen. No Botox, no lip filler, just a pure soul, full of joy and whimsy. And now women are full of hate and SSRIs. But they're hot.
What are SSRIs?
They're hotter than they've ever been. They're hotter and more depressed than they've ever been in history. Sad.
Hateful and spiteful.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, anime.
Anime.
I didn't take my Vyvanse today, could you tell? Men's fantasy. A big titty woman with the face of a 16-year-old that is useful for cooking, cleaning, and sex. Women's fantasy. Gets treated like a queen and a man who keeps tracks of our periods so he can take care of us. I think I speak for a lot of women here when I say our fantasies do not, in fact, include men tracking our periods. Personally, if my husband was like, honey, just a reminder, you're in your luteal phase, I'm taking the kids. Men like to pretend they want this, and then they beat their wife when dinner isn't ready, or their son when he's misbehaving.
This sounds like a boomer thing. I mean, do you remember the Steve Rogers jokes? Like how he would be against his would-be wife?
First of all, I'm sorry that happened to you. But there are in fact good men out there. I've seen them. Some may be in this very audience.
Really?
Sorry, I couldn't keep a straight face. This is the Shoe0nHead audience. You're all gremlins. Male fantasy equals a woman that can't run away from him. A woman that's dependent on him. Interesting. When men are involved, it's basic survival instinct to assume the worst.
Jesus
Men are
Christ.
guilty until they prove themselves
What happened to these people?
innocent. You know what? I take my opinions back on free speech. I changed my mind. No more free speech. No more free speech until you bitches learn to behave. A woman's fantasy is a man who won't rape her, and a man's fantasy is raping a woman.
What? Holy crap.
I'm sorry, where is the rape, ma'am? Maybe that's how you see it, because you're brainwashed to hate men. So true. I hate how... But in reality, women are the real demons here. Oh, goddamn it. We just want a happy relationship.
Okay. He just went over
is it
the
so
cliff
much
there.
to ask for? Yes. Yes, it is.
Probably.
Oh look, more misogynistic gooner fantasy slop written by misogynistic gooner men. This is why 70% of anime is garbage.
What's the other 30%?
So, here's the thing, that, misogynistic gooner fantasy slop written by misogynistic gooner men was actually written by Saiko Tanabe, a woman. A woman wrote this story. And I feel like a very important detail everyone is sleeping on when they covered this was the fact that this is very much the female fantasy as well.
Yep.
A man loving you for who you are despite your flaws, literally sweeping you off your feet and carrying you around on adventures, helping you live out your dreams, face your fears, and supporting you through the good and bad times. You're going to sit here and tell me that's not the female fantasy too? Is this not the basic female fantasy? Is this not the knight in shining armor coming to rescue you?
Oh yeah,
and
this is
falling
it.
in love with you? Why on earth
That
are so many
someone
women
was going-
so mad at this?
This is the same fantasy that we were talking about, that a man would come in and simply take them away from all of this. But this time, he isn't some sort of deranged werewolf billionaire or Prince Charming, but you know what? A regular college dude. Yeah, this is it.
Are men now the hopeless romantics? Are men now
Probably.
the ones yearning for a fairy tale romance? Is this why all the Disney remakes are like, she's not gonna
Garbage.
be saved by the prince, she's a strong, independent woman? Meanwhile, men still want to be the prince, men still want to be the knight in shining
Probably.
armor. Men are like, I will save you from your monotonous 9-to-5 job. I will give you a house and babies. And women are like, no, I must be an actuarial consultant. Be gone, vile misogynist. Is that what is occurring here? Also, that aside, there literally is a gender-swapped version of this story called Perfect World. It is a manga. Mango?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, no. Do not come for me, weebs. Men will statistically leave their wives and partners the moment they find out they're disabled or have a life-threatening condition. You're right, it is a fantasy. Actually, that study was debunked by the authors themselves, who admitted they did the math wrong. It's actually not much higher, but then again, even if it was, and it happens, I've seen it happen to people, it's terrible. Marriage should be through sickness and through health, but that's not really the point here. And the fact that so many people are focusing on the wheelchair part of this just proves that they just don't get it. The ones of pure mind and
they
pure
don't.
soul get it. But these f***ing semen demons out here, they don't get it.
Semen
But not
demons.
all semen
Wait.
demons. The amount of people in
Witches?
comments who just don't get that men want a cute, loving girlfriend is beyond me. They call them creeps for wanting actual love and not a girl boss who only wants your money. Thank you. A sane person. Hopefully the replies
wait,
aren't
wait.
full
This
of
is
people
Shoe0nHead.
calling her a pick-me. Pick-me alert. Least obvious pick-me.
of
Me, pick me please. Hope he picks you, sis. Pick me, pick me, pick me. An incel could have written this. Fuck. Why are so
Of
many
course
VTubers
not.
either pick-me's or racist? You mean why do so many female VTubers disagree with you? Why so many aren't towing the mainstream liberal feminist NPC line? Because they can. See, the most powerful weapon women have against other women is social ostracization. You don't want to be seen as a pick-me or a racist, so you keep your mouth shut in order to survive.
So, yeah, women understand women, but they hate each other.
In female social circles. But in the cases of VTubers, virtual YouTubers, they're basically anonymous. They can say anything they want.
Yes, we
they're
are.
basically
It's why
wearing
we're
a
here.
mask. They're free from the chains of the eternal HR Longhouse. But apparently, even being anonymous online does not save them, because they still get doxxed for simply not hating men. Lovely. Maybe I should
Of
save this
course.
rant for a different video someday.
I need a
Moving
soda.
on. Men are why we can't have nice things, by the way. First of all, men make all the things. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Also, I just realized it was a man saying that. It was a whole ass man saying men are why we can't have nice things. I don't deserve this trophy. This is for you, sir. This is for you. I'm not worthy. Listen, I make women jokes. I'm very critical of feminism and propaganda aimed at women. But you will never catch me in a million years saying some like women are why we can't have nice things. I have a mom. I have female family members. I have female friends. Maybe one day I'll have a daughter. Women make the world a beautiful place, and
Yes.
like men, can be flawed.
Like the song goes, men make all the things, but it'd be nothing, nothing without a woman or a girl.
And deserve criticism, like anyone else. But there's something genuinely so cucked about people who put down their own gender or race. Oh god, race. Self-hating
go
white
again.
people. Don't get me started on self-hating white people.
I want a soda.
White people are so evil. I hate being white. White people can't dance. White people food is so gross. You're not getting into Wakanda, bro. You're not getting invited to the cookout. Enough. But yeah, women are not the only ones who had a problem with this. There were a lot of
It's like every interview. Do you like white men? Of every white woman ever.
men who didn't quite relate to this being the average male fantasy.
It's fine to love the disabled. I didn't need to remind you that. But to glorify it, this anime is certainly
I'm not even gonna say anything.
Marxist propaganda. The movie is about him taking a job as her caretaker, and when he learns of her dreams, he makes it his mission to help her dreams come true. So it is Marxist propaganda to help a
Yes, it's
disabled person
definitely
pursue
Marxist
their dreams?
propaganda.
Yeah, it's woven in. Empathy is the target of propaganda.
Marxism is when girl in wheelchair. I love this. Empathy is the target of propaganda.
Who are
Every
these
piece
people?
of media that makes you feel empathy is communism. Political
Probably.
brain rot. If you're at the point where you see this and you're thinking of communism,
Yes!
you need to log off. You are unwell.
I'm sorry,
Probably.
but when I reproduce, I don't want a high probability of my offspring being mentally
It
or
doesn't-
physically retarded.
It doesn't work that way, but okay. Che Guevara was on his way to becoming a doctor, by the way.
We need a better class of incels whose bar is higher than the retarded.
She's not retarded. She has a spinal injury that's
Yep.
not genetic. Also, what
No,
is
it's
this
not.
LARP? I love how everyone is just kind of having like a normal conversation about this clip, and this guy just comes out of nowhere like, I would never put my pure white seed in such a vile creature. Like, you absolutely know this guy has a non-white girlfriend. They all do. All these like I hate white people women always have white boyfriends. All these I hate non-white people boys always have non-white girlfriends. I don't know what it is, but I've seen it too many times. I guarantee you when this man logs off of his Black Sun Roman statue Twitter account, he's clapping Latina booty cheeks.
My fantasy is not being a simp, but okay.
Fellas, is it simping to love a woman?
Nah,
Probably,
this
yes.
is not the male fantasy. That man is a beta male. If she wasn't in a wheelchair, she would leave him for Chad.
What?
Fellas, is it beta to love a woman?
This is
Probably.
not my fantasy. This is some gay shit, to be honest.
Fellas, is it gay to love a woman?
Yes! It's probably gay to love a woman. That's it. It's gay to fall in love, and it's especially gay to love a woman.
What no pussy does to a motherfucker.
Brother, I've seen what pussy does to a motherfucker, and it's far worse.
The average male fantasy is taking care of their crippled wife. I don't think I've ever had that fantasy before. I thought it was gonna be about going on some quest to kill the dragon to win the princess or something.
It is. That is the average male fantasy. But there are no dragons.
I wanted to be Raymond Reddington, alright? I was so badass of walking up to the CIA's main lobby and announcing yourself.
dragons to slay. There are no princesses to save. But there is that little old lady in the grocery store who can't quite reach that top shelf. There's that heavy box the pretty girl you work with can't quite lift herself.
No.
There's that jar of tomato sauce your wife can't quite open. There's that Lego set your little son can't quite put together himself.
Yeah.
Or there is this paraplegic girl who wants to see the ocean.
Aw.
This is the Princess and the Dragon story. And despite what many are told, men do have a lot of love to give. And they want some kind of excuse or
do?
mechanism to show that love. In a world where men expressing themselves is either seen as toxic or gay. And one way of
Toxic, gay, or, downright being a rapist.
expressing that love is solving problems. Men fucking love solving problems. I don't know what it is. They also love reading Wikipedia articles. The amount of times I walked over and my husband is reading a random fucking Wikipedia article
Never
about
heard
like
of
the
that, the whole
world's tallest
Wikipedia
buildings or like a random battle in World War II. I didn't know if this was autism or what, but apparently it's a man thing. Anyway,
Yeah.
yes, men love solving problems. And in a world that makes them feel useless, makes them feel like they have no purpose, men desperately feel like they need to prove their worth.
We need a
They are
mission.
desperately looking for a purpose in life. So it is not at all shocking to me that the modern young man is seeing a clip like this and longing for this. A lot of modern men don't have a chance to prove themselves, to make something of their lives. They don't have a chance to provide anything for anyone because they don't have anything to provide and they don't have anyone.
At least
they are
not
doing
anymore.
everything their grandfathers did, but seeing none of the results. They're lost. What can they
Our grandfathers are obsolete now.
provide? And as I said earlier, her being in a wheelchair is the protector and provider instinct taken to a extreme. And yes, it is a fantasy, considering if you ask anyone who's actually in a wheelchair, they know it's not all butterflies and rainbows, and they know that it's hard on relationships. It can be difficult on their partner. But just like in the movie, it's not shown as butterflies and rainbows. Josie feels like a burden. But towards the end of the movie, the guy takes on that burden. Not because he gets something in return, but
Love.
because it's his duty. Because it makes her happy, which makes him happy in return.
called love.
Loyalty, duty, virtue, acts of service,
Alright,
big
I'm feeling emotions right now the way she's explaining the whole thing. So I'm definitely not going to watch it. Like I said, you guys, I'm a VTuber because I am not mentally or emotionally well adjusted. So yeah, definitely not gonna watch that film because some emotion that I've been repressing might come out.
big or small, men live for that shit. And yes, these are stereotypes. Not everyone fits into these boxes, blah, 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 blah. But for the most part, it's true. When many men look at this relationship, that is what they see. And a lot of modern women are looking at this relationship and being disgusted because, in a way, it's the complete inverse of the strong, independent woman
It's not them.
they've been sold. They've been told they need to be. The modern
In other words, it's not them. They're not the fantasy. They've been sold a lie.
woman crafted by modern Disney for modern audiences. Unlike the Hollywood crafted modern woman, this woman does need her man. She is not strong and she's not independent, at least physically. This doesn't mean she's like an empty vessel with no thoughts or freedom. No, in fact, in the movie,
Of her own.
Josie does roll away from him a few times. It is a fantasy not because of a power imbalance, but because the man has a tangible purpose, and the woman is willingly and lovingly letting him fulfill that purpose.
Because I can depend on you.
Okay,
I know
I
that
can't
if I
take
ever
this.
feel frightened, I can just reach out to you.
Men simply
take
want something
this.
good to die for, to make it beautiful
Definitely
to live.
will not
This
be
manifests
watching it.
in a lot of ways, but the most common is having a loving partner and or a family. Something unobtainable to many people nowadays. So yes, literally one of the most
Not
normal
watching
things
it.
ever is becoming a fantasy. Sad. Also, men will deny this, but they absolutely have a biological clock. It may not hit in your teens or your 20s, but one day you're going to have a dream. You have a little daughter making you pancakes with your wife in the morning, and you're not going to be able to get it out of your head. And that is the male biological clock. Everything you do, the money you make working that grating 9-to-5 job, it will all be for something bigger and more important than yourself one day. You will come home to a warm and happy home, greeted by people who care about you, and love you, and rely on you, and everything will make sense then. Until then, you'll just be on the internet, being called a misogynist, for wanting
Probably.
something bigger and more important than yourself, for wanting something beautiful and normal. And that is the average male fantasy.
Yes, it is.
That and 3 hot chicks at once. Hell yeah, brother! Haha, you know what I'm saying? So that was that little video. Men
2 chicks at once. I promise you guys, it's problematic.
in the comments, let me know. Am I correct? Is that the average male fantasy? Or is it not that deep? Men and women in the comments, what is your fantasy? And no, I don't mean that. I don't want to hear about how you want to be crushed by a 12-foot futa. That is between you and God, not you and Shoe0nHead.
want it to
I mean,
be
what is
Raymond
your ultimate
Reddington.
dream? Do you want to travel the world? Do you want a nice big family one day? Do you want to own a farm? Do you want to live in a shed in the woods and make pipe bombs? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you soon with a new video.
Bye! I need a minute. I need a minute. Thank you for watching, guys. So if you want me to check out other stories here on YouTube, please let me know in the comments. We upload on the weekends, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Also, check out our Twitch channel where you can watch me do this live. And please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do the whole notification button thing to help me out with the algo, and class dismissed.